Hey folks, today I would like to do some visual cleanup, and by that I mean go ahead and replace the current assets that I'm using with custom made sprites, uh, and I will also try to kind of get rid of the unnecessary things. And we'll try to make sure that whatever I have running, except for the characters, in terms of sprite sheets, is all custom made. And as always, you can access the current version of the app by the link in the top left corner of the stream. And let me run the project locally to see the current state. So this is the level, right? Last time we picked some pebbles and some grass, and then I went ahead and redid the title screen and the settings screen and the credits screen. And now, if I go to so basically now there are two levels apart from the menu stages. We have the starting level where we start the game and go on our adventure, and we also have the grasslands level, right, where most of the action occurs. I went ahead and removed the rest of the levels because I was kind of not sure where they should go. And now I also made some mock-ups. I made this the signpost to kind of replace this situation over here, and now I'm kind of thinking what should be in the beginning. Like, should it be a bonfire? I'm not sure how good that will look, so it will be some exploration probably. Let me get my vacuum tablet going, and let's see what we are doing with this stuff. Okay. All right. So for the purposes of making the sprite, I just brought in the sprite, and I'm gonna see, how feasible it is for me, like a very amateur artist, to kind of get this going. So before I start making changes to it, I just want to see if it's good enough. Because I kind of like the idea of having a bonfire. There is something very canonical about a bonfire, like with the Dark Souls series and stuff. And regarding the lore of the game, I think, maybe since you are an off-screen player, you don't have, like, what's it called, an endogenic representation in the game world. So maybe you are something like an overseer, or a god of some sort, or like an alien that has some goals in mind, and then you kind of recruit the living things to do your bidding, and then it would be kind of awesome if you could be like a bad entity or a virtuous entity. That could be a fun idea to play with. But I'm still not exactly sure how the game is gonna be like, because what I realized in my numerous attempts to kind of like finish a game and to make something, it is never what you expect it to be. The game kind of as you make it talks to you, and it tells you what it prefers to be, and then you kind of take that into consideration. It's a conversation, and you listen to what the game is trying to tell you and what it wants to be, and then you make a theory and you try to implement things that you kind of get out of that, and ask the game whether it likes it or not. So that's at least my current working theory of how I should make games. But like all of this is just that. It's a theory. I have no idea whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, and I also have no idea whether the game is going to be fun. And I think the issue is that I have some amount of technical knowledge. I have some amount of dedication. A little bit of autism, probably. And I'm kind of trying to figure this out as we go. It would be sweet, of course, if I can manage to make something that is fun to play. But if I don't, then this is a learning experience, I guess. And then I fail and I try again. So I'm not sure if this is the per pixel grid is kind of annoying. Can I remove the per pixel grid? Yeah, okay. It's kind of getting a bit slow with the per pixel grid. Okay. I think a better way to do this would have probably been like make vector splines and then just choose an option to make a stroke out of the splines with the selected brush, but I think since I'm not sure where exactly I'm going, it might be a bit costly. And as I said, I don't have a lot of experience with making two-dimensional assets. I have never done two-dimensional assets, by the way. I have a bunch of experience with doing like 3D stuff. But the problem with 3D stuff is that like it costs a lot more to produce an asset. Just too many things. First, you have this research phase where you collect references to understand what you kind of want. And AI can help, but it's not really useful when you try to go for a specific look. And then you have to do some sculpting first to get a feel of the volume and the idea. Then you do some retopology, then you do some unwrapping, then you do some texture painting. Then, like if it's an animated asset, you have to kind of make a skeleton for it. You have to rig it. And then you kind of need to animate it, make sure your rig is okay, and then it allows you to do whatever you want to do. And that's a lot of work, you know, for a simple asset. So that's why I chose to try making a two-dimensional game instead, because I think in the end, like all types of games are kind of reduced to simple variables, right? It's just values. And then there is a very little amount of games that actually require like three-dimensional space, like in terms of genres. Like for example, Dark Souls, right? Dark Souls kind of require you to learn patterns in three-dimensional space, right? And then it has three-dimensional hitboxes, and then you kind of want to learn the patterns, learn how to dance, and then you have to learn how to navigate the camera. But all of those things, like this is my opinion, of course, and it feels to me like all of those things can be reduced to 2 dimensions instead of 3 dimensions, right? Because in the end, it's a 2-dimensional game, right? It maps on your screen, kind of, and the sort of mechanics allow you, like, it's not something that innately relies on 3 dimensions. Like, it's not a puzzle that you need to move your camera around to solve. And I think like Hollow Knight, for example, is very similar to Dark Souls in that sense, because you look at 2-dimensional screen, you kind of learn the patterns, and you try to make sense out of the world, and then you use the knowledge to get to the winning conditions. Whereas there are like games that are Superliminal, I think, is one of them. It's a recent indie game where you're required to utilize the 3 dimensions in order to understand the world. And I don't think that type of thing is kind of doable in 2 dimensions. Because then it kind of becomes a different sort of a task, like Gorogoa, for example, another 2-dimensional game that relies on like illusions, but they're in 2 dimensions. So I think, like in my case, to learn game design, I think going in 2 dimensions is better because most of the rules are still the same. It's just the asset pipeline is going to be easier. And plus, you know, like things like collision detection and you know, like space partitioning and like depth sorting and stuff, it's all way easier. Typically, of course. Okay. Uh, I'm I'm not sure how good this is. I'm not sure if I like it. So let's see. Okay. Uh, Even though it's kind of like isometric, I think maybe I should have some respect for perspective. Because I kind of don't really like this thing, this area. Let's see if it can be improved a little bit. Maybe the angle. And then this, I think, is way too thick. Okay. So let's see. Would it look nice, like in a broader picture? I think it kind of respects the style. Yeah, I think this might turn out good enough. Let's make some additional strokes here and there. I'm not sure about the width of the strokes, but we'll see. And something like this. And I'm not sure what's supposed to be in the middle. Maybe like something abstract, like kind of to set the well, the like if we are to ignite this thing later, I guess oops, the flame would come through here. So then those are probably like those are burnt pieces of wood. Let's see. Come on. Image. It's Control H. Okay, Control H. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay. Maybe I can do some hatching here. Is it called hatching? Hatched pattern? Okay. The middle looks weird. Maybe I shouldn't like mess with it too much. All right, so this is the fill layer, right? I'm going to fill before I apply some strokes, and then we can go ahead and replace the pattern. And I don't want to fill with the fill tool because it's going to be a bit weird and uncontrollable. So let's see how this works out. Okay. It kind of seems to me it's going to be okay in the game, but let's put it in and make sure. Another idea I kind of had is maybe to make a portal instead, so that the first character kind of appears through a portal, and then the portals I think I would like to use for other things in the game, so we'll see. All right. So this is great, and let me apply the stroke. I think this turned out pretty nice. Okay. Now, let's see. So the reason I isolated this bit is because I was thinking, maybe the pole could be separate, and then I can just like rotate this around the pole. So like it's a good thing to have, and maybe it will be useful a bit later. So I'm going to leave it as a separate sprite for now, and then we see what we're doing with that. Because right now the idea is to just get rid of foreign sprites. So this I can save now, and let's export and prepare our tile shit. And let's see. So let's open up the texture packer, and I am going to split this stuff first, and the tile size is 200. Yep. Oh, I think I need to turn on the transparent background. Okay. Oh, no. Do this. Okay. Now, I think so. We have the grass and we have the pebbles individual sprites here. Maybe uh, maybe I should combine all of this stuff. We don't need this. Maybe I can combine this in under the name of props. And then I have all of the props in a single tile sheet, and then pebbles. All right, and I'm gonna do this, and then I can take all of this stuff and assemble them into a sprite sheet, add an extrusion, and now we can export. And we are going to export. Okay, assets. For now, it's props. So I'm going to use this and publish. And then ideally nothing should break. And it doesn't. Now what I am going to do is, first of all, I would like to load up in the first level here. And I'm going to change so this entire file, like with the imports, it should be like shuffled around. Okay. So we have the sprite sign and sunray. I removed this from everywhere so I can just delete it. What's this? Create sprite sunray. And this, then there is this sunray effect. Okay, so then let's delete the sunray completely. Maybe we can replace it. Let's not delete. So I am going to delete this thing instead. Structures, let's remove this stuff. And let's remove this. Okay. Mm-hmm. And let's see. When it comes to the sign, I want to create sprite grass patch. So this is what I want. And we have sprites for different directions, but for now, we are going to just use the same sprite and create sprite sign. And here we should rename this to props medium 0 instead. So it should be props medium 0. And then props horrible naming and name. So this should change the sprite for the signs, and then the sprite for the bonfire. Let's see where it is. Create sprite bonfire. So we want props, and this one we called props medium 2. Come on. This thing we don't use really. And this thing we also don't use. Right, so we're going to remove this thing. Yes, and we remove this, and this thing I also don't use. Let's clean this up. Sprite flower. I think it is being used in the terrain, but we're gonna fix that. Let's see. Structures. Oh, yeah, okay. So since I removed the files, the webpack needs restarting. Okay, this is good, but it's way too big. But that is fine. Let's see where we set the size. Let's see. I don't think components, items, bonfire. This sprite scale. Okay, I'm setting it here. Maybe I shouldn't do that. First, should be smaller, and then maybe I should set the scale in here instead. Okay, maybe a bit smaller. Okay. This looks better. And then we change the sign. And this is also a thing here. So we remove scale from this part and we place. We don't need this line. Will it affect anything else in the game? I don't think so. I think it should be fine. Let's see. Too big? Maybe I should also reduce the bonfire size a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. This looks better. I kind of like the "Where is Waldo" vibes because there potentially can be a lot of things hiding in plain sight, which could be an interesting like gameplay feature, because you could also like get an upgrade in which you which allows you to see names and stats, right? Like the upgrade that allows you to see your HP levels on all the characters, and then in some places you would, for example, there could be this unique type of a bush or a unique type of tree that doesn't really look like every other tree, and then normally like you can click on it, and normally you wouldn't notice it, but then when you get this upgrade that allows you to see the HP levels, then you see, oh crap, the tree has an HP level, and then it's clickable. I can interact with it, and that's a lot of fun, because then it kind of makes you think that, oh, there could have been other things in the world that are hidden in plain sight because they look kind of different, and you didn't know what to look for. So that could be like an interesting feature that is originating in this kind of like art style. Okay, so the next thing we would probably want to do some stuff about this part over here, the button. And first of all, let me see the changes. Okay. I should add this part to git ignore instead of deleting them. Oh, I should also probably save the file before doing anything else. Let's do that. Yes. Okay. Now, where is the sprite for the button? This, I suppose. Let's see if it does something. Yeah, this is the sprite. Okay. So then I guess it is kind of safe enough to draw this thing here. Let's see. What do I want the things to look like? Should they be squares? Well, let's see. So maybe I should start with a rectangle, something like this, and oh, maybe I should make it perfectly centered at first, and then I can do this. Oh no, should have released. Enter. Okay. And then I think I can do stroke. Nope. Can I change the color of the shape? Okay, this is fill. Can I do... Okay, I can't do stroke for some reason. Should I rasterize? Huh. Mm. Okay, maybe I should have done it here. Fill type 2 pixels. Stroke type black 2 pixels, and then I should probably do this. And now I can align it. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate and rasterize. And now we can do some stuff here. Let's see. Maybe small, tiny irregularities to make it kind of look better. Okay. And then we can just rotate it by 90 degrees randomly to make it look different for each slot. I think this is fine. Let's roll with this. Okay. Oops. Okay. I think let me do this. Layer style copy, layer style clear, merge, paste. Okay. Okay. This seems good enough. Maybe there should be a little bit bigger padding. Or maybe it's fine. We'll see. Okay, but this is good. Let me first of all save this, and then I am going to export. Great. And then basically we do the same thing. Okay. Let's remove this, guys. Props medium. We do 200. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Well, the... No, 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 it's fine. It's fine. I didn't do anything stupid. I did, actually, but it's not catastrophic. Let's remove the background, do it again. Okay, this I'm going to delete. Okay, save. Forgot to rename. All right, and then this thing goes here, and then we do our packing. Same place, publish, spreadsheet, same numbers, same naming. convention. And now, instead of using sprite sheets UI textures, we're going to do props. Props, and props medium 3, I suppose. And then the scale okay. So the scale, let's figure out the scale. And the scale is, so it's a button component. And I think the button scale is 1. So let's see. When it's 1, 0.3. I need to like make all of the things kind of like uniform. I think it's too big. So the strokes become kind of too thin. That's not good. So maybe I don't like this. I should, and this is not going to center it perfectly, so I should do this instead. This of course screws up the work that we put into this, but such is life. Let's see. You know what? Maybe we can have 2 versions. So I'm going to kind of like duplicate this. How do I make sure this thing kind of why doesn't, okay, maybe I do this. Stupid and efficient. Yes. All right. Now, this thing we make small. How small? Maybe this small. Okay. Okay. This seems good enough. And we do the usual shenanigans with the styles. Apply the stroke, apply the fill, and we do the whole charade again. Just one more time. Okay. Save it out, export. Yes. Okay. Oh, of course. Okay. All right. Publish. And now we just need to make 3 into 4. Okay, and then we up the scale. Is 1 good? Too much? 0.8. Ah, this is great. And okay, I see. So now the okay. So the size of the thing is way too big. Maybe this thing. So basically, I don't want to set the clipping rectangle on top of the sprite to denote the clickable area, because I'm too lazy for that. What I'm not too lazy for is open the small sprite and add the misc UI. Okay, we add UI. And then I take this little body and I put this guy here. $100 by $100. It's still kind of small, to be honest. Let's see. We can make it 100 by 100. All right. Okay, we can do this. It's fine. Let's see if I can change the sharpness. Do we have sharpness? No, but we have levels. Are these useful? If I want to... what if I just duplicate it onto itself? And then I adjust that. Okay. Maybe it's not the brightest idea. I think it's too much. I think this is better. Yeah, I think I will switch to Krita instead of using Photopea for drawing, because there is a slight lag which is kind of annoying. I don't really appreciate it, especially like when you have style zone and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, maybe this looks a bit more dignified. Let's okay. And then export as PNG props small UI. Okay, let's do this. And then let's just cram it in there. Okay, publish again. Let's see how this looks. And this is going to be props UI 0. Just UI 0. Is that right? Yes. Okay, this is better. And we are going to reduce the scale further. So let's do 0.5. See, okay. Now the scale upon focus should be 0.6 probably or something, right? Scale, let's see. Yeah, this is good. Yep. Like ideally, of course, you would have different, since we don't have a vector engine, we're relying on like sprites. So the lines are going to be of different width every time we scale things. And sometimes that's okay. And sometimes we probably will need to use a separate scaled version of the sprite. But this is good. This will do. Okay. And you can kind of see the inventory. It's fine. Yeah, I would say I like it. This is good. Now with that thing done, we can like start and like make some trees. And I also want to fix the dust, and then there is some particles flying around. I don't know if they're visible. They're small white dots. I want to fix that as well. I want to add some clouds for a kind of like a fog of war situation. And yeah, then I guess we start with kind of thinking the characters through and the enemies and what they do, and while drawing the necessary sprites and stuff. So that is great. I like the progress. That will be it for today. And thanks to everyone who was watching, and thanks to everyone who is watching on YouTube. See you guys next time.